Okay, last video we talked about downloading and installing OpenOffice.org or OpenOffice 4, and we extolled the many virtues of OpenOffice, and we decried our techie friends who have not informed us that such a wondrous thing as OpenOffice exists. I know you're going to really take them to task for that, but never fear, Sandra got you covered. So now we've created a Word document. Oops, not Word document. We've created an Open Office document. Now we are going to see about making a sheet. So when you click that little desktop icon, that is the Open Office icon on your desktop, you will get this little pop-up. Well, it's not pop-up actually. This is the splash screen, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's called splash screen. It could be that only like the loading screen is the splash screen, and I've been calling this the wrong thing the whole time, but anyway, I digress. So you want to select from one of these options. So we already did text document, which is OpenOffice Writer. Like Microsoft Word has Word, of course, Microsoft Suite, Office Suite has Word. Apache OpenOffice Suite has Writer, OpenOffice Writer, and you can make a new text document using Writer. Great, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to click Spreadsheet, sorry, since we already did text document. So we're going to create a new spreadsheet. Hold on to your hats, everyone. So click there, spreadsheet. Boom! Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. So now, what we're going to do is, let's see here. Okay, that looks wonderful. So now let's say, what do we want to put in our spreadsheet? We want to, let's just start with what we had before. Let's say it's like the party invite list. So I'm going to say party invite list, right? And then we're going to have different columns. So we'll say name, and I'm hitting the tab button to get tab, 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 tab to get around. Instead of using my mouse, which is kind of slow to point and click, I mean, you can do that. You can also use the tab button to tab around. Oh, how did I go backwards, you ask? You hold down the shift key and then press tab, 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 and you can go backwards. Then just no shift key and regular tab button, you can go forwards. You can also use the arrow pad on your computer keyboard. So now I'm going to type in some names. So let's say, oops, I'm going to type in some other contact information. I'm going to put their phone number, then I'm going to tab, then I'm going to put email, right? And then I'm going to tab, and then let's put RSVP. Did they respond? Yes or no? Right. And now let's get some names in there. So I'll say Mike, Judy, Jim, Bones, Bach coming to the party, right? And that's not a good balance. Let's say who's good? Let's say Beverly. There we go. Beverly Crusher. Okay, so phones. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say they'll have lovely unique phone numbers. So what I'm doing here is I have pressed Control C, holding down the Control button and depressing the C button, the C letter on the keyboard. Now I've copied that into my computer's short-term memory. It's on the clipboard, is how we call it. So now if I click into any one of these squares, cells as they're called, anywhere else, and I press Control V, boom, it's going to appear there. if I can also, let's say I forgot the hotkey or the shortcut key for copy and paste. Control V, Control C, and Control V. Let's say I forgot. I could also go to this edit menu up here and I could press copy and paste, right? If I select paste right now, there's a handy reminder here that Control V is what you're looking for, but you can also just click paste and it will, see there, it's filled in for me. So I am also able to double click or hold a mouse button, click and drag. If you're using a trackpad, you might have to double tap and drag, depending on what device you're using. There's another way to select it. So now I've selected these two cells at once. So I'm kind of grabbing two cells. Now if I do Control V or select paste from the edit menu, it will fill that in all these cells. So let's say I had like 100 people. I could drag select all these cells and I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control V for paste. It will paste them all in there for me. I'm going to do Control Z because I don't want that. Control Z is undo. Instead of Control Z, you could also go up here to this little back arrow, which is your undo option. And it can also undo several steps back in time. So it's pretty cool if you want to do that. I'm just going to tap it once. You can also, again, use Control Z or Command Z if you're on Mac. There, it's undone all the paste that I did before. Now let's do some emails. So let's say Beverly is, she's FC at enterprise.co. I don't know why it would be .co. And then I've pressed enter, and as you can see, the color has changed. So if I hover over this, it's become a mail to link. It's a hot link, and I can click this, and it's going to open my email app that's on my machine. So if you have like Proton Mail or Outlook or Thunderbird, whatever email you have default set up on your system, it will be spawned or called by clicking this link, which we've now created. I believe there is a way to turn off that auto formatting, making it into a link, but I don't know what it is. So let's see, how about Judy? So Judy is what she is, abc at emails.com. And see, again, when I press enter, it's already turned into a hot link, hyperlink. Jim is, he is James T. Kirk at, well, he's an admiral now, so he's a Starfleet. Starfleet.net. I don't know why it would be Starfleet.net. Bones, what's your email address? He don't have no email because he doesn't like technology. Spock is like, he's using his old email, right? So he's Spock at vulcanscienceacademy.edu, right? Okay, now if this is kind of hanging over the edge here, so I don't like that. I can do a couple of things here. One, I could just make this column bigger by hovering my mouse here till the end of column D, and then you see it turns into this little kind of almost looks like a crosshairs. It's like a little expander icon or something. So I'm going to grab that with my mouse. In my case, it's a double tap on the trackpad, which is equivalent to a click. And I'm just pulling it. While I'm holding down the mouse button, I'm pulling this. So I can make this a huge column like that. So I have plenty of room here. Now there's no overlap. Or I can just size it down to what I need, which is roughly about there, right? Now, another way to fix this, let me see if I can undo. Yes, Control Z, or this little curly, backwards curling arrow is another way to undo the column width setting. So I'll click there. Now, let's say I didn't want to drag the columns, right? I can drag click these cells. So I'm clicking and dragging to select a few cells. I usually select more than I need so that I don't have to keep doing that with each cell as I go. You can also click this letter D to highlight the entire column, right? That's super awesome. So then I am going to now right click. On my machine, right click is achieved by a 2-finger tap. Not sure how it is on your machine. If you're using a regular mouse, it's just clicking the right mouse button. And then you want to do format cells. So this selection, this menu pops up and you can select format cells. We want this text to wrap around, right? We don't want it to be hanging off the edge. I'm going to click format cells. Oh, and you can't see this little window. Hang on 1 second while I add that window to my window capture list in my video processing app here. So there we go. And you'll see there is a bevy of tools here to select from. It's defaulting me into the alignment tab out of these different tools, right? Formatting this cell. So here, let me take you through some of these really quickly since we're here. If I had a number in this cell instead of email addresses, I could say, hey, I like to use American style or, whatever style my company uses or European style of, of writing numbers. So if you have a negative number in your cell, you want it to turn red, you can select this. If you want to use numbers with no comma for the thousandth place or the hundredth place, you can select this formatting here that doesn't have any commas. If you don't want to see any decimals, you just want OpenOffice to round it up or down for you, you can select it with decimals or without. If you're using percentages, you can have it set a certain way. Currency, if you have a deficit in your calculation and you want deficits to appear as red, you can set it that way. If you would like them just to appear as, let's see here, you would like to have US dollars appear after your dollar amount, you can have it there. If you want to have it with a dollar sign or without a dollar sign, you can set all these settings here. For your date formatting, let's say you have dates in these cells, like when did they RSVP, the date that you received the RSVP. Let's say there's not enough seats at the party, so only the people who RSVP'd from a certain date are gonna get a seat, are gonna get an invite, or a ticket or whatever. You can have a date column here, and let's say you want your dates to be formatted a certain way. Here's where you could select that. There's lots of different options here. And then different ways to format time settings. You might sometimes have a column that has the time in it. Like let's say somebody bought something, purchased something. You want it to have a timestamp when they bought it. And you want the time to be in 24-hour clock time. You want to show the date and the time. There's so many different options here. For hours, we're just using letters, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll also see a little bit in the fonts. You can format these in a certain way if you like with your fonts, and you see a little preview here too. You can change the sizes too, so you can have different things inside these cells. Then font effects, you have different colors. You can add shadows to them. You can add outlines. See here in the preview how it turns out. And there's all kinds of different things that we won't get into. For the cells, you can add borders. This is pretty cool. You can make them thick lines or thin lines. You can add lines all around. You can just add borders between the lines, or you can add lines both around and in this horizontally and vertically. So I am just going to turn this off because we're not there yet. You can also add background colors and something called cell protection, which is what you don't, when you don't want to accidentally mess up some formula or something inside of your cell. We'll get to that later. For now, let's get back to what we originally came in here for, which was to stop this little text here from overhanging. So what we're going to do is we're going to select wrap text automatically. Not sure I should have gone off on such a tangent because this is a very simple thing that we're doing. But hopefully that was educational for somebody out there. Okay, so notice you can also change, by the way, the text alignment. So you can have it centered in the cell. You can have it left aligned. Well, my left aligned. Left aligned. You can also have it, you can have your text even going vertically if you want. So some charts have their text kind of going vertically. So you could kind of tilt it like that if you don't have enough space, that kind of thing. Hey, it went straight to 42. I love it. Okay, so we're just gonna bring that back to 0. And let's see what this does. Pressing OK. Hey, look at that. So it did wrap my email addresses, but in this case, it's not wrapping them because it's a link, I believe. I believe it probably doesn't want to bring that to the next line. So I did all of that for no reason. Let me do undo. I'm going to undo. Let's say if I just had like a really long word in here, like just a random word, and then I press enter. Okay, so let me do this formatting here again one more time. Format cells. And then now let's click this box again, wrap text automatically, and let's see what happens. Bam! That's what should have happened the first time. So if you have a really long word and you would like it to not overlap into the other cell, you can either drag select and grow the cell, or you can do right click and cell formatting, and then do alignment wrap. Okay, so now because their email addresses, I'll just do that. We don't want them to be chopped off. Okay, so now let's just give some random, like they're not coming to the party because they're too busy. They're coming to the party. Okay, wow, without Jim Kirk, it's going to be a rough night between Bones and Spunk. But okay, so now we have a table here. We want to, let's say we want to, we can change this font. We can make it bigger by selecting the font size here. So make it size 15. We can also click here bold, right? We can change the font here. Let's make it like a Star Trek kind of font here, like it's Space Party. What? Hey now, that doesn't look very spacey. Well, okay, that's fine. We'll let it go. We'll let it go. We can also change this font here. We'll make it bold. We'll make it a little bit bigger, just so we can see it a little better. And then you know what we want to do? We want to add like a delineating line between these. So what we can do is we can drag select this text, right? Another way we can select is by holding the shift key and pressing arrow, the left arrow. I'm sorry, the right arrow, right? To highlight and also de-highlight. So while you hold down shift, you can select a lot of different stuff. Now I would like to have a line there. So over here in this little borders menu, you can select the option to have borders here. And I just want a line on the bottom because I want to be fancy. So on the bottom of each cell, I would like a line to appear. So I'll select this option right here. And now if I click away, it's easier to see that a line has appeared here. Nice. Now, I could also have lines in all of these cells between those. So I could do the same thing here. I can select either this one or this one. Let's go here. Oh, hold on. Actually, that one's only going to create a line at the bottom here. Right. So I would want to put lines in between. So I think it would be this one. There we go. Yeah. So we have lines there. So it's a little bit redundant to have this line here as well, but we can always right click on row 5 and click delete row. Now we have that there. And you can always give a little extra visual space if you want. It's yours. You can do whatever you want. You can be the Bob Ross of spreadsheets if you like. It's your own little spreadsheet. And, this kind of looks weird here as well. Like, why are the letters all smushed over? So I could kind of drag select here, right click. In my case, again, it's a 2-finger tap to right click. With your own mouse, it could be whatever. And then I'm going to go format cells. But hang on, I don't got to do all that again. I don't got to make this window pop up and click alignment, horizontal, find the center button. I don't have to do all that. I can just click right here at this little shortcut, this little tool menu here at the top. So here it says align left, align right. Let's see if I click align right, what happens? Oh, it shifts everything over here to the right side. That's also not great. I want to hit center, align center horizontally. Boom, now it's aligned in the middle. It's so great, I love it. So you can do that. And let's say you don't like that it's touching the line. I don't think anybody out there is as weird as me and feels that way, but just in case you are, you would have to go into the actual box here again. You would drag select everything in that column, and you might want to drag select some other cells too, just so that you don't have to keep coming back and formatting them. Then I would right click, hit format cells, and now for the vertical alignment, I would want to also make sure it's centered by selecting middle. And then I'll click OK. And now you see it's just inched up a little bit there. So now it's just hovering inside the line there. So it's kind of cool. Right. So let's see, what else can we do? What other trouble can we get into with the spreadsheet? We can say Jim. He's kind of like too bossy. So he causes problems. Let's say he's coming to the party, right? So he said yes. Let's change him to yes. So we're like, okay, we don't want to have him sit next to Beverly, right? They're gonna clash. So I want to put a red background just to remind myself that hey, Jim is a little bit, he needs some kid glove treatment. He's special. So I'm gonna just fill this in. And the way you do that is you go over to this paint bucket, you click background, and you just pick one of these colors. And it's kind of hard to keep track of the colors sometimes because you forget which color you used. I try to just use only certain ones list all the same time always, because then I'll have a better chance of remembering which one I used and keeping it, matching. So right now I'll just go red number 1 and boom, it fills it in for me. See that? So that's how you fill in your colors there. You can do lots of other stuff. You can add emojis by copy pasting from like sites like emojipedia.com. You can add in links, like let's say you wanted to link to everybody's website. You could click this and you could click this little globe here, world with the chain on it, hyperlink. And Oh, I don't know why it's not showing me that. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. And then you would type in the link here and then click apply and close. So, oh, that didn't work. I'm gonna press Control Z for undo. And now instead of clicking just the cell, I think I need to quickly double click spot and then click hyperlink again. Now let me try that again. So now I'm typing in the target that's going to open on the web when this cell is clicked. So let me click apply and see what happens. Okay, I think that worked. And then I'm going to click close. Yes, so see now this box name, when I hover the mouse over it, becomes a little hand. There, right? It's a hyperlink now. And if I were to click on it, it would take me to this site. So that's pretty much some nice basics of OpenOffice spreadsheets. Oh, one other thing, you can also print a PDF, export this. You could turn this into a PDF with an export. You can also click this little printer icon if you want to print a paper copy out on your real physical printer. You can also make a new sheet. So here down at the bottom, we can click sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So this worksheet, this workbook, if you want to call it that, has different sheets inside of it. And you can right click on them to rename them. So I can name this sheet Party List. And now you see here the name has been changed to Party List, right? Now you can have another sheet and name it like costs, right? Or like food or something. That's more fun. Name it food. Sweet. So that's pretty much it. And I hope you really enjoyed this little taste of OpenOffice and for spreadsheets, I should say. And I will be doing another video. Maybe I'll do one on presentation, which I think is called Impress. I believe it's called Impress. So it's like kind of like PowerPoint. And let me know. Please like and subscribe. Please, please, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see me talk more about. I kind of glossed over really quick. And this video is getting kind of long, so if you want me to go deep on any particular topic, let me know in the comments section. I will take a look. Let me know if you had any problems installing, saving, creating new files. Did you get that Java error when you tried to install OpenOffice? Anything like that you would like me to talk about? I'll be very glad to. So please like and subscribe, and see you around the web.